We're a week into the season, and after 6 games in Central New York, the Auburn Doubledays will make their first trip out west. Tonight they come to Sal Maglie Stadium, hoping to dethrone the last undefeated team in the West Division. Your Niagara Falls Americans, now 6-0, are coming off a 20-3 victory by Mercy Rule and will look to carry the momentum into tonight for their second straight home game. It's the Americans, it's the Doubledays, it's PGCBL baseball right here on the Americans Baseball Network.
That the ace of the Giant pitching staff that season was Niagara Falls native Sal Maglie. A league low 2.71 earned run.
They chose Niagara Falls because of the stadium, because of the history, because they believe in Niagara Falls.
Tickets 716-215-6161.
And where do you play?
We play right at Sal Maglie, gorgeous stadium.
Set the 1-0 to Boyle. Is hammered to right field.
Go, baby, go, baby, go.
Come here, fence! That ball is way out of here.
Welcome back into Niagara Falls Americans baseball. It's the Americans against the Doubledays here at Sal Maglie Stadium. I'm Andrew Roberts. I'll be your play-by-play broadcaster here for the Americans the entire season. My color commentator, Avery Vogt, will be with us in just a moment. But before that, let's take a look at the PGCBL standings at large. Headed into this game, the Americans are still undefeated, 6-0 atop the standings. Newark Pilots right behind at 4-0-1, and it's the team they tied with, the Auburn Doubledays, that are here in Niagara Falls tonight. They sit at 2-3-1 behind the Muck Dogs and Tarp Skunks, looking to get back into that playoff picture. Pioneers and Ironbacks with just 1 win each, and the Geneva Red Wings fell to 0-5 after getting mercied by the Americans last night. So that's pretty much it here for the PGCBL standings. It's Americans on top. They played the last place team last night. Now a more competitive matchup here tonight as the Doubledays are looking to get right back into this playoff picture. And we'll have baseball in just a moment here, but while we wait, we will get you the Auburn Doubledays lineup. Leading off is going to be the extra hitter, Tyler Vivacqua, Niagara University product, reuniting with a lot of his former teammates here in Niagara Falls. Adam Sullivan bats second and plays shortstop. Batting third will be Kieran Kehoe playing DH. Anthony DeCesare will be catching, batting cleanup. Jed Strains Tregear batting fifth, and playing third. Sam Meyer, the right fielder, will bat sixth. After that, that is it for players who have recorded a hit this season. Max Fishbein, Alex Vasquez, and Bobby Hardy all making their debuts for the Doubledays, 7, 8, 9, and then Austin Droge looking for his first hit, bats 10th. So we will have the national anthem here in just a moment as Apollo, the Americans' mascot, our favorite Eagle, is coming out onto the field alongside Yankee Doodle Dan, the in-arena host, the most patriotic people in Niagara Falls. And we'll have the national anthem in just a moment. Take a break right here.
With the singing of our national anthem by yours truly, Doc Fonts. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof flag was still there. Oh, say does the yet star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
There we go, Doc. How did you do it every time?
I don't know about that. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the great
Back here on the Americans Baseball Network, we will have baseball underway in just a moment. Still waiting for Avery Vogt up here in the press box, but he'll be here in just. Wait a minute. He's throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. Oh my goodness, what a surprise here on the field. We've got our own color commentator throwing a pitch before the game.
Special happy birthday,
And it is his birthday.
Avery, the mound is yours.
Here's the pitch. And that is going to be outside for a ball, but Avery Vogt is going to have to run up to the press box just in time for the game.
Please be aware that balls and bats occasionally
We'll see him in just a moment up here.
And in addition, sound
And while we wait, we'll introduce the Americans' own starting pitcher today.
or vaping while inside.
It's Matt Kasperwitz. Came out of the bullpen over the weekend, so 1 inning pitched. Still no runs given up. Hoping to keep that streak going tonight. And looking for his first strikeout as an American. He is a product of SUNY Niagara alongside much of the rest of this Americans pitching staff. And in this first inning, he will face Tyler Vivacqua, Adam Sullivan, and Kieran Kehoe.
All right, fans, another beautiful night here at Sal Magley
So
Stadium.
all three of them getting warmed up
Game time at the barber
as
shop.
we will have Avery Vogt here in just a moment. After his amazing ceremonial first pitch, here he is. It's Avery Vogt joining the broadcast. Avery, what was it like to be out on the mound?
You know, with that many fans out there, I was getting a little nervous out there, but we got the ball across the plate, and that was the plan, so it went great.
Oh, for sure. It was great to see you out on the mound, and now Matt Kasperwitz taking your place out there. Will be cool to see what he's able to do tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Wolf from the dugout was saying I could maybe come in relief later, so if I hop off, that's why.
Yeah, Americans expected to bring in C.J. Hurley as the first reliever. And Hudson Boring, Carter Hall could also potentially come in. But, I mean, if they need a fifth pitcher, I think, Avery, you're next on that list.
Yeah, they said I might come in to finish out the game, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Or possibly number 4 to save Hudson Boring for his 3rd save of the season. But we are underway here. And first up, it is Tyler Vivacqua, takes ball 1. Vivacqua, a 400 hitter on the season. And finds the outside corner of the strike zone to even up the count. So Vivacqua, it's quite the story here. Reuniting with 5 of his Niagara University teammates.
Check that. That's extra hitter number 21, Tyler Vivacqua.
So it's 2-1 to him, and Vivacqua was out greeting some of his former Niagara teammates on the field before the game. Ground ball, Bowles fields it, sends it to first, and Ethan Madison will complete the out. So 1 down as Tyler Vivacqua is retired
Now batting shortstop number 36.
by a team with many of his college teammates. Quite the story that we'll be following along with all night, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, it's always cool to see some of the buddies you played with, you know, with those lifelong memories you got with those guys.
Definitely. And ball 1 outside to Adam Sullivan, the number 2 hitter in this lineup, batting 300. So now 1-1 to him. Sullivan, a product of Lemoyne. And batted 292 over there as he takes another strike on the outside corner. So 1-2 with 1 down, nobody on. The pitch from Kasperwitz. Swing and a miss. That's 2 down as Matthew Kasperwitz sends Sullivan packing for his first strikeout of the season. And he's certainly bringing the speed, Avery.
Oh, yeah, I mean, to get that strike out there. He had him a little hitter confused out there, but now we got another hitter coming up. He's 6'7".
That hitter being Kieran Kehoe, who fouls off the first one. Product of St. Joseph's University. Didn't play much there, but when he did, he was excellent. A 300 hitter. And now 381 here for the Doubledays. That's going to graze him on the back of the helmet. And the first base runner of the day is on a hit-by pitch.
Yeah, he's got a bigger frame there, Andrew, being 6'7". He gets a lot more room to get hit him by the ball.
Oh, yeah. One of the largest players in the PGCBL at 6'7" and 230 pounds. We got an Aaron Judge build out here.
Oh, yeah.
He's DHing tonight.
Hopefully he doesn't hit like him, too, though.
Yeah. We'll have to see about that. No home runs over at St. Joe's, but DeCesare grounds one to Bowles, and briefly, Kehoe gets in his way, but he'll record the out anyways. 3 down quickly here in the top of the first. We'll be right back after the break.
No, I'm kind of thirsty. Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the bottom of the first inning, and we will get you the Niagara Falls Americans starting lineup. Let's get that scorebug out of the way, but it'll be Grant Moore leading off in center field. He's batting .500, a 6-game hit streak, 4-game leadoff on base streak. Brady Bowles bats second, plays second. He's been heating up at the plate. Ethan Madison batting third, playing first. He had the first home run of the season for the Americans, and Paul Delanto had the second with the grand slam last night. He's the cleanup hitter. Nick Pass, the extra hitter, bats fifth. Evan Core batting sixth. Chris Gazaldo batting seventh, back in the lineup tonight after the night off. Dalton Harper will do the catching and bat eighth. Shane Prey playing third, batting ninth. And Derek Jesmondi, the walk machine, will round it out for the Americans. 4 walks last night for Derek Jesmondi, and that wasn't even the beginning of it. He walked twice on Sunday in his first appearance.
Yeah, last night was kind of a walk party, but Jesmondi was on the receiving end of 4 of those last night, so obviously he's contributing, getting on base there.
15 total the Americans had, but Brennan Heilman, the starter for Auburn, will face Grant Moore, Brady Bowles, and Ethan Madison. 5.14 ERA on the season in 2 starts. And the first pitch will find the strike zone, outside corner.
Yeah, Grant Moore was showing bunt there. Couldn't quite hold back enough.
My apologies for the issue on the graphic, but Heilman is 2-0 on the season. So looking for win number 3 as ball 1 goes in the dirt. Grant Moore leading the Americans in batting average at .500. Also a 1243 OPS, 2 extra base hits. Count is at 1-1 to him. And fly ball into left center field will be caught by Bobby Hardy for out number 1. So Bobby Hardy making his Doubledays debut, and already a defensive play on these Americans, as Brady Bowles is up next. So only 2 lefties in the Americans lineup tonight, those being Moore and Jesmondi. 8 righties sandwiched in between. Brady Bowles, the first of them. And Bowles had quite the night yesterday. A big double. Takes strike 1. Bowles' entire stat line last night was 1 for 2, walked twice, got hit, and then a double. The 0-1 goes upstairs to even up the count. And unfortunately, Grant Moore's leadoff on base streak is over, but still should be a great night for him. As here comes the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss to make it 1-2. And Avery, what do you think the approach is for Bowles here?
I mean, this pitcher's been doing pretty well out there tonight, but if I'm Bowles, I'm maybe staying away on this ball. It's probably gonna be outside, so keep the bat on your shoulder here.
For sure, and indeed it goes outside. Avery called it.
I might have hacked into their pitch comps. Don't tell anyone though.
Oh yeah, I mean, would have had to do that in the hour 15 before the game that they were here.
Oof.
But ball 3 low to make it a full count for the first time tonight to Brady Bowles. Bowles sharing the middle infield with his college teammate Chris Gazaldo, just like old times. The pitch from Heilman is upstairs for ball 4. Brady Bowles, another walk. It's his 3rd in the last 2 games. And puts a runner on for the power hitter Ethan Madison. And on the season, Madison has had a number of extra base hits, obviously the home run, and then a double last night.
Oof.
And the first pitch in for the strike to Madison.
He's got Bowles on here. Maybe he can get a home run again and get 2 runs up early for the Americans.
That would be a great start for Niagara Falls, but Brennan Heilman, a solid pitcher here for the Doubledays, hoping to avoid any damage here in the first inning as ball 1 goes upstairs to even up the count. 1's across the board and a runner on first as well. And pickoff attempt is unsuccessful as Bowles quickly slides back in safely. Now, Grant Moore has really stolen the show as a base runner for these Americans, but Bowles has plenty of speed himself, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to try to steal a bag, it'd be a good spot to put us in. But like you said, Grant Moore, he's got 10 stolen bases on the season. That's very impressive. He's got some legs on him.
The chopper foul makes it 1-2. But yeah, Grant Moore looking for number 11 tonight, but the first mission is get on base. Hoping to extend his 6-game hit streak. As Heilman checks the runner at first in Brady Bowles and sets to deliver the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Ethan Madison strikes out. Had a number of those before his home run on Tuesday, so going to have to be careful what he chases here as the night goes on. But Paul Delanto is next, the DH batting .400, 1193 OPS, and a team-leading 8 RBIs. 4 of those coming on the grand slam last night.
Yeah,
Ball 1 on the low outside corner, but yeah, you were so excited about that grand slam, Avery, as you should have been.
Yeah, I mean, it was something you don't always see every day. We took a trip to the outfield today. We found the ball. We just got to go grab it later today after this game.
And that finds the outside corner to make it 1-1. Yeah, a couple of you guys got Apollo out for the mission to find that ball. Went over the right center field wall, and another one in that direction. High fly ball. This time, it'll fall a little bit short. Caught by Sam Meyer. That'll end the first inning. We'll be right back after the break. Ever dreamed of playing catch right here at Sal Magley Stadium? Well, join us June 22nd for a post-game catch on the field. Back for the second inning, brought to you by Bully Hill Vineyards. A great place to grab lunch and taste over 40 different wines. Go to bullyhillvineyards.com for more. And Andrew Roberts still here with Avery Vogt as the Doubledays come up to bat. First up is Jed Staines-Tregear, takes ball one. And this is one of 5 300 hitters in this Doubledays lineup, Avery.
Yeah, it's going to be something you look at on the card, and there we go. He's already got a hit on the day.
Yeah, base hit to left field. First hit of the day for the Doubledays. Actually, first hit of the day in the entire game.
Now batting right fielder number 1, Sam Meyer.
That's rare to see for these 6-0 Americans as their opponent gets a hit before them. But Sam Meyer coming up with the runner on and nobody out. He'll be due up in this inning alongside Staines-Tregear you just saw, and then Max Fishbein on deck now. Fishbein making his Doubledays debut. But Sam Meyer, the 364 hitter, chopper, that gets past Prey and past Gazaldo. Runners are still moving, or at least the runner in Staines-Tregear safe at third to make it runners on the corners.
Stepping in the first baseman, number 39, Max Fishbein.
And we'll wait and see on the call from Riley Drew Cross here. It's going to go in as an error on Chris Gazaldo. So the first error of the day for the Americans makes it runners on the corners in Max Fishbein's Doubledays debut. Fishbein, the product of Denison University. Ball one in the outside corner. He was a pretty solid hitter over there, starting shortstop. Or rather, played first almost every game for the Denison. Runner goes from first to second, and safe at second base is Sam Meyer. So now 2 runners in scoring position. Could be trouble for Matt Kasperwitz as Max Fishbein, the .310 hitter back at school, keeps batting. Kasperwitz checks the runner at second, and Sam Meyer already stole one. And an outside
2-1
ball. It's now 2-1. So the first stolen base of the day for the Doubledays. Makes it a 2-1 count. And a ground ball into left field for another base hit. Staines-Tregear comes around to score, and Meyer scurrying back to third. He'll hang there. The Doubledays lead this 1-0. So 2 hits, 1 run for Auburn, an error for the Americans, and Kasperwitz is in trouble here in this second inning.
Yeah, especially too, so far Angie's got no outs, no strikeouts, no nothing yet. So with runners on the corners here, it's kind of put you in a tough position here, especially with no outs.
Yeah, that will go down as his first run allowed of the season. It is unearned thanks to the error. And here is Alex Vasquez, another debutee for Auburn. Up the middle, and it's going to drop in the outfield gap for another base hit. 1 run scores, runner coming into third. And they will say he's safe. So still runners on the corners, and Doubledays lead 2-0. And the Americans were off to a 6-0 start. One of their first multi-run deficits of the year. They had one in Jamestown the other day, but Bobby Hardy's up next after 4 consecutive base runners reach with nobody out. Hardy takes the first pitch from Kasperwitz into right field. That's going to drop in front of Derek Jesmondi for another hit. And coming around to score is Max Fishbein. Runners on first and second as the Doubledays are now up 3-0. Kasperwitz having a rough inning here in this top of the second. And Avery, what do you think he needs to do to get out of this jam here and avoid any more damage?
Like we said, it's been tough here for him, but he's gotta throw some balls here, some weak contact, maybe hit right into a double play, maybe bring up his confidence a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of hard contact so far. An inside ball 1 now to Austin Droge, who's looking for his first hit of the season, but a lot of Doubledays have gotten their first hits tonight. Max Fishbein, Alex Vasquez, Bobby Hardy. The difference is they hadn't played before tonight. Austin Droge showing bunt now, but everybody's staying at their base as it's another pitch on the way from Kasperwitz. Goes in for the strikes. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, as the umpire confirms. 1-2. Kasperwitz checking second base for Vasquez.
Oof.
Check swing. He did not go, so that evens up the count.
Yeah, he pulled away on that one, but it still kind of looked like it hit the zone, but we'll leave that up to the umpires.
Yeah, calling it a ball. Showing 2-2 back to the Americans' dugout. And that's an outside ball 3 to fill up the count. First full count Kasperwitz has seen tonight. A lot of short at bats resulting in hits tonight. 5 consecutive base runners have reached for the Doubledays. Another foul ball into right field, and 3 fielders chasing after it. Gismondi, Bowles, and Madison. Nobody going to get there.
Seemed like a smart play, though. If they had caught that ball, the runners definitely would have advanced.
Kind of that awkward in between a pop-up and a fly ball on that one. But looked pretty clear after a second or two that it was going well into foul territory. As Kasperwitz gets ready for the payoff pitch. Checks Vasquez at second. Oof. And that is just a bit outside. Base is loaded. That's actually the first walk given up by Kasperwitz after 4 singles and an error. Base is loaded. Nobody out. As it's back to the top of the order, Tyler Vivacqua. This has been a rough one thus far for the Americans, but that 6-0 record shows that, I mean, they can overcome a lot, Avery.
Yeah, just like we saw the other day at Jamestown, they were down 3-0, and they came back and won the game. So don't give up any hope yet. These Americans are definitely still in this game.
Definitely, and there's a good one for Kasperwitz. Strike 1 finds the inside corner on Vivacqua. Foul ball back into the netting behind home plate to make it 0-2. Vivacqua 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out to Brady Bowles on his first time around. It was a high-quality first inning for Kasperwitz. Hasn't gotten the same results just yet in the second, but foul ball back into the stands. Actually going to fall all the way into the concourse around home plate. And the 0-2 from Kasperwitz is going to be clearly outside over the righty batter's box for ball 1. As this top of the second continues on with bases juiced and nobody out.
Oof.
A low inside ball 2 evens up the count. And Kasperwitz had an 0-2 count early, but Vivacqua's battling, Avery.
Yeah, he's battling here. He's keeping his bat on his shoulder, but hopefully Kasperwitz can get a strikeout here. Ooh.
Another one hit into the outfield, and Grant Moore will make the catch for out number 1 rather. Tagging up is Alex Vasquez, and it's a sac fly to score a 4th run for these Doubledays.
Now batting shortstop number 36, Adam Sullivan.
So it is 4-0 Auburn. 4 hits, a walk. Guy reached on an error. That was Meyer, but now it's Sullivan up to bat with 1 down and runners on first and second. And outside, ball 1 to him. He struck out his first time up, showing a little more patience this time around. Sullivan, the shortstop tonight, grounds it into the outfield for a base hit. 5th hit given up by Kasperwitz. Run will score, and scurrying back to second base is Bobby Hardy, or rather Austin Droge, but it's runners on first and second, and 5-0 Auburn. So Fishbein at the first RBI, and it's been 5 out of 6 batters with an RBI since then. 4 out of 5, and now a meeting on the mound. Paul Wolf coming out. This could be the night for Matt Kasperwitz.
Yeah, we got someone up in the bullpen. Looks like he's still throwing, so maybe they got some confidence in Kasperwitz and going to keep him in there. Looks like they are.
Yeah, Kasperwitz going to stay in for now. 1 1/3 thus far tonight. But definitely some action in the bullpen for these Americans. C.J. Hurley was initially anticipated to be the first pitcher out of the pen tonight. We'll see if that holds true. But 1 down, and runners on first and second. 2 ducks on the pond for Kieran Kehoe. Up the middle, and out at second from Gazalda to Bowles. Out at first for the double play, and there's 3 outs. The 6-4-3 double play will end the inning, and 5 runs scored by Auburn, though. We'll be right back with the bottom of the second.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
This season, get yourself the latest Americans gear. Hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, baseballs, and much, much more. Stop by the merchandise stand by concessions.
And we are back for the bottom of the second inning here. Brennan Heilman will keep pitching for Auburn, and he'll see Nick Past, Evan Core, and Chris Gazaldo here in this second inning. And the Auburn Doubledays scored 5 in the top of this inning to take an early lead here. The Americans going to have some work to do, but they've scored plenty of runs every single game. And we'll have to see if this is one they can come back from. So 3 out of 4 batters retired in the first inning. Now Nick Past looking for the first hit of the day for Niagara Falls. Fly ball into right field. And making the catch for out number 1 is Sam Meyer. He's had the last 2 outs for Auburn.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting real sunny out there on the field. Surprised Meyer didn't lose it in the sun, but he kept under it and caught the ball.
Yeah, sun coming out here at Sal Magley Stadium. It's a beautiful night for baseball. And Evan Core is up next, the 500 hitter. Looking to get the Americans going here tonight, but Brennan Heilman has been excellent thus far as strike 1 goes down the pike to Core. No runners to check here. He delivers on the 0-1, fly ball into right center,
down,
and
yes.
It's going to drop in front of Sam Meyer. Should go down as the base hit. First hit of the day for the Americans goes to Evan Core, whose batting average is now above 500.
Yeah, you know, it's only baby steps in this inning, Andrew. We got the first hit of the game for the Americans. Let's hopefully keep this going.
Yeah, and Chris Gazaldo, a great batter to continue the action here. 400 hitter, 871 OPS. Has played his last handful of games for the Americans at shortstop. Takes ball 1 to make it 1-1. And Gazaldo, he had the error earlier tonight, but in general, he has played a pretty nice shortstop. Helped turn the double play to end the second inning.
Yeah, it's not how you start, Andrew. It's how you finish. You know, sometimes during these games you're going to make a mistake, but you got to shake it off and keep playing the way you do and make some better plays.
Little Taylor Swift reference in there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but
No, I don't like Taylor Swift. That was not on purpose.
but 2-1 with a runner on first. Makes it 3-1.
Yeah, being a Bills fan, you can't like Taylor Swift.
I'm not necessarily listening to Taylor Swift on my own, but I mean that's pretty common one, so certainly have heard that before. But that's a pop up into foul territory, and making the catch is Max Fishbein for out number 2. Chris Gazaldo retired. And next up is Dalton Harper. Harper, the 273 hitter on the year, pretty closely in line to his 269 batting average from last season here with the Americans.
Nice.
But
Well,
he's catching tonight.
Yeah, if you want a guy to get these runs going, this would be the guy I'd have at the plate. So hopefully you can get a hit here, maybe get some runners in scoring position. We'll see what happens.
Big cut and miss. He's certainly swinging big here. And, yeah, Dalton Harper, a 2-year veteran. You always know what you're going to get from this guy.
Yeah, day in and day out.
Very consistent.
Yeah, day in and day out. He's always that guy. If you need a hit, he might be that guy to do it. And you got a stolen base here.
Yeah, Evan Coors steals second on ball 1 to Dalton Harper. And he made that decision right as the pitch was delivered. Like to see that confidence from Core. May not be the fastest runner on the Americans, but certainly has that speed as Heilman checks him a couple of times before throwing another ball outside. So Dalton Harper has the hitter's count here. He's walked multiple times on the season, so
must be
definitely
scared to
on the
throw
table
to him.
for him here. Yeah, could be. Heilman, another outside pitch, and I mean, the catcher, DeCesare, trying to frame that inside the strike zone, but umpire is not falling for it, as it's pretty clear how Heilman is pitching Dalton Harper right here.
Yep.
That's an inside ball 4. It's first and second as Harper walks. So 2 ducks on the pond here as Shane Prey comes up to bat, batting .308 on the year. A great contact hitter. Looking for his first extra base hit, but can certainly rely on him for singles.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you need here. You need a single, maybe send the runner home, and get a run on the board here.
Prey fouls it off behind him for strike 1. And Prey has seen the most starts at third here for these Americans. He's played a great third base all season long. Actually started out as a catcher, but converted to third over at Fredonia this past season, and it has worked very well as he flies it into shallow right field. But coming out to make the catch is Alex Vasquez, the second baseman. So that'll do it for the second inning. Americans unable to get a run on the board. It's 5-0 Doubledays. We'll be right back. Ever dreamed of playing catch right here at Sal Magley Stadium? Well, join us June 22nd for a post-game catch on the field. Back for the third inning, and this third inning is sponsored by Greater Niagara Federal Credit Union, Geico of Buffalo, Sammy's Pizza, and McDonald's. And if the Americans score three runs tonight, all fans here at Sal Maglie will get a free McCafe Frap, as it's ball one in the count here to Anthony DeCesare. Fly ball heads into left center field, and coming in to make the catch is Evan Core from left field for out number one.
Yeah, much better start to this inning. Got a quick first out, so maybe they can keep it going, get out of this inning clean with no runs.
Yeah, that would be good, and DeCesare was the only hitter who did not show up in what was a rough second inning here for the Americans, but Jed Strange Tregear coming up to bat now. He singled his first time up.
Yeah, try saying that name 5 times fast.
Yeah, quite the tongue twister, but ball one to him from Matt Kasperwitz. So Kasperwitz gonna stick it out for this third inning, at least the beginning of it.
Gets a nice call there from the
Strike
umpire.
one on the outside corner, yeah. It was close, but it was in there. Pop up in foul territory. Will go over towards the top of the stands. And Kasperwitz getting ready to deliver on the 1-2 after that foul ball. And that's a line drive right into the glove of Brady Bowles for out number 2. Strange Tregear retired for the first time tonight.
Now batting right fielder number 1, Sam Meyer.
Might just call him JST the rest of the way. That'll roll off the tongue a little better. But Sam Meyer coming up next. The right fielder reached on an error his first time up. Pitch from Kasperwitz. Swing and a miss for strike one.
Yeah, bring out your shovels on that one. Looked like he was digging there.
Definitely, but Sam Meyer, certainly a capable hitter, certainly capable of recovering here. 364 on the year headed into today. But ball one outside. A nice take by Meyer there.
Riley, that's right, 5-5. Yes.
2 RBIs on the year as well, and it's another ball to him. So now the count in his favor. Looking to get on base for the second time tonight. Outside ball in the low corner for ball 3. Puts this well in the favor of Meyer, who already had the advantage. Fouled off to fill up the count. So full count, 2 outs, nobody on. As Matthew Kasperwitz looking to put this inning away and send the Doubledays packing 1-2-3 here in this top of the third inning after a 5-run second. Ground ball picked up by Gazaldo at short and sent to first base for out number 3. It's a 6-3 ground out to wrap us up here in the top of the third. We'll be right back.
You know, I'm kind of thirsty. Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better. Did you know American season tickets are just $99? Come be part of the fun this season at Sal Maglie Stadium. Stop by the concession stands and pick up your season tickets today to be part of this historic season in Niagara Falls.
And we're back for this bottom of the third inning. Sammy's Pizza, as I mentioned earlier, a sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans, and free Sammys was being given out on the field. But yes, season tickets, get them at concessions, only $99. And Americans looking for their first runs of the night. It'll be Gismondi, Moore, and Bowles to face Brennan Heilman, who has been off to an excellent start here. He's given up just one hit. And now pitching to Derek Gismondi. And Avery, that's ball one to Gismondi. He's taken 6 walks on the season. Do you think we see walk number 7 here?
I mean, I have total confidence that he could also get a hit as well, but a walk wouldn't be bad because, I mean, he's getting on base. Doesn't matter. They don't ask how. They just ask how many.
Yeah, and the line drive foul there was very close to his first hit of the year. And a little more on that and a little earlier. Could have been a home run right down the third base line, but ball 2 going outside to Gismondi. Gismondi has started 3 games for the Americans, been a corner outfielder in each of them. That finds the outside edge of the zone to even up the count. It's actually 7 walks for Gismondi on the year. Pitch outside to make it 3-2.
I'm taking a walk here, Andrew. I'm liking the way his approach at this plate right now. And
Yeah, very close to walk number 8. Would bring his on-base percentage. Oh, and that's strike 3. Finds the edge of the zone, out number 1, and was looking very close to walk number 8.
yeah, I mean that
Even higher on base percentage, but he goes down packing.
Yeah, it looked like a ball, but I'm not an umpire, so I wouldn't really know what I'm calling there. So we'll leave that to the professionals.
And it's back to the top with Grant Moore in this bottom of the third, looking to extend his 6-game hit streak. Takes strike 1. Moore has 10 stolen bases. Won the PGCBL Position Player of the Week for the West Division in week 1, but takes ball 1 outside, and really seen Anthony DeCesare with some far stretches with his framing tonight. Umpires not falling for it.
Yeah, I mean, as a catcher, that's one of the jobs they make you do is kind of change the umpire's view on balls and strikes. But there's only so much you can do as a catcher, so let the umpires do their job, and they've been doing pretty good today.
Definitely. That foul ball likely fell near Deb's Beer Garden down the third base line. Oof. Oh, and a close one for Grant Moore way inside to make it 2-2. Brennan Heilman looking to pitch another clean inning here, but an outside ball 3 will not help matters. It's a full count to Grant Moore. You do not want to be in this situation.
No, you let him get on base here. Bet you $5 he steals second.
Yeah, but mission should be to strike him out here, and they are unable to. Outside and up high to walk Grant Moore, get him on base for the first time today. And I would bet you anything he gets a lead right away here from first. But Brady Bowles up next has also walked on the day in his only time up. Came in with a .400 batting average to tonight's game. Strike 1 down the pike on Brady Bowles. He will not bite. And he showed a lot of patience his first time up. Got to wonder if he'll be a little more aggressive this second time around.
Yeah, especially with the guy on base. Maybe try to look to advance him, but you never know with Brady Moore. Oof, tough
swing and
there.
a miss. 2 strikes on him already. Maybe he'll have to be patient here as he wants to give Grant Moore the opportunity to pick up a stolen base here.
There he goes. Oh.
On the foul ball, he'll have to walk right back. It was a confident decision by Grant Moore as Heilman wasn't really keeping eyes on him, but The foul ball going to send him back to first base. Doubledays out hitting the Americans 5-1 and have the 5-0 lead right now. But ball one will go outside to Brady Bowles. That patience paying off to keep him alive in this at bat. I got a good piece of that last one as well.
Yeah, it had the distance on it, but unfortunately was not fair. There goes Moore.
Yeah. So Graham Moore is going to be caught stealing at second base. He was close. But, I mean, 10 for 11 on the season, I'll take that any day. And, I mean, when it comes to Graham Moore, you just got to be aggressive. Sometimes you're going to get caught, but it's a very high success rate for him. But it's 2 down and an even count on Brady Bowles. So things thus far have just not gone the Americans' way tonight. Certainly shown the strong team they are over this first stretch of games. But the Doubledays, very much a hot and cold type of team, and they have been hot so far tonight, but they will walk Brady Bowles for the second time. So Brennan Heilman has not been able to figure out how to get Bowles to chase, at least for the most part. Got him chasing on a strike 2, but not a strike 3 just yet, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, we got someone on base now. We gotta see what happens here.
Yeah, that's the second consecutive walk, and Brady Bowles has some wheels himself. He'll go. Actually, never mind. He's going to decide to turn back as it's ball 1 to Ethan Madison. 2 down, 1 on. Oof. Foul tip behind home plate to even up the count at 1s. And Ethan Madison struck out his first time up. Actually struck out his first 2 times up against Jamestown before that home run, though. So his swing for the fences mentality has paid off in the long run. And there you see a big cut and miss again by Ethan Madison.
Yeah, we got 2 outs here, 2 strikes. Maybe we'll see Bowles try to take second here.
Yeah, I got to wonder maybe if this is the situation to be using those big swings. But, I mean, I wouldn't doubt Madison, one of 2 home run hitters for the team. That is strike 3, though. And they're going to have to complete the strikeout at first base. But Americans go down in just 4 batters faced. Madison strikes out for the second time. We'll be right back with the 4th inning. 5-0 Doubledays. Ever dreamed of playing catch right here at Sal Magley Stadium? Well, join us June 22nd for a post-game catch on the field. This 4th inning is sponsored by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 237, by Johnny Ryan, and by Coca-Cola. Get all your Coke beverages right down at concessions here at Sal Magley. And Paul Delanto last night after the Grand Slam got a Johnny Ryan shower with his free Johnny Ryan. He got a free case with his home run. That'll be the case for every single Americans home run here at Sal Magley this season, Avery.
Yeah, we brought it down to him in the clubhouse after the game last night. First thing he said was, I don't drink pop. So I guess his teammates had other ideas, decided to spray him with it.
But it'll be Max Fishbein first up to face Matthew Kasperwitz here in the 4th inning. He swings and misses on strike 1. Fishbein led off his Doubledays career with a single in the 2nd inning, drove in a run. But now in the 0-1 hole here against Kasperwitz. .310 hitter back at Denison University. Strike 2 finds the outside edge of the zone. So Fishbein going to have to climb out of this 0-2 hole against Kasperwitz. And it's an inside ball 1. Fishbein having to move just slightly for that one. The pitch. This one in the low outside corner to even up the count. Noticing a lot of Bills and Sabres gear here in the stands. Buffalo sports fans are proud fans of the Americans in a lot of the region here. But a 2-2 count to Max Fishbein. What do you think he'll do here, Avery?
Honestly, I think a fastball. Get him. Oof. Well, it was a fastball, but it's up and away. And like you mentioned, Andrew, there's a lot of Buffalo fans around here. But, I mean, they're not in season, and you got the undefeated Americans. So, you know, we got someone else to cheer on.
Yeah, there we go. Americans. The baseball team for the Niagara Falls area, of course. But a foul ball by Fishbein on this full count. So Kasperwitz has thrown 6 pitches to him thus far. Here's number 7, the chopper. Drops near Gazaldo, and another error on him. So Chris Gazaldo, it's been rough for him at short tonight, but I mean certainly a capable player there. He's shown it throughout the season, just not his night tonight.
Yeah, sometimes you just come to a game and you're not in your groove, but hopefully he shakes it off and makes a better play next time.
Yeah, and here is Alex Vasquez with the runner on Max Fishbein for the second time tonight. First on a single, now on the error. As Kasperwitz checks Fishbein at first base before throwing. And Fishbein's off for second. He is going to slide in safely on the stolen base on ball 1 to Vasquez.
Yeah, it looked like Harper had a little trouble there on the throw. Not sure what happened, but didn't quite get the ball to second base there.
And the Doubledays picking up another steal here. Line drive into right field. Gismondi chasing after it. It drops foul. Probably would have been at least a double had it gone fair, but Vasquez going to have to keep trying here with the 1-1 count as Harper gives him back his bat. The catcher showing some respect here.
It's a classy game. It's baseball.
To his Doubledays opponents. Yeah, classy game indeed. Line drive again into right field, and this one Gismondi is going to make the catch. Runner tagging up to third base, and Max Fishbein is safe at third with 1 down. On the flyout to right field by Alex Vasquez.
Now batting left fielder number 40, Bobby Hardy.
So Fishbein advancing on the throw, and Bobby Hardy up next. Another single to start off a Doubleday career. Came in the second inning by Hardy. And he had an RBI in that as well. Big cut and miss. Almost hits himself with the bat.
Yeah, look at the ball got up and in on him. Tried to avoid it, but his hands looked like he kept going forward.
Yeah, but a big rotating swing by Hardy. Up the middle, and that'll get in the gap in the infield for a base hit to score run number 6. Bowles and Gazaldo seeing that one go between them for Bobby Hardy's second hit as a Doubleday, second hit of the night, and his second RBI to make it 6-0. So the Doubledays, as I mentioned, it's been a little story of fire and ice for them. They've been having some very big games and then gone cold in others, but a fly ball into right field here for out number 2. Austin Droge retired for the first time tonight. And Derek Gismondi has had his work in for him, Avery.
Yeah, even on some of these foul balls, seems to be getting some speed on it. He's getting his cardio out there, but he's been making some plays, catching some balls, and chasing after some foul ones. He's definitely been one of the better players tonight, I would say.
And back to the top of the order now, Tyler Vivacqua grounded out, then scored one on a sac fly. And runner goes. Will the tag be in time? No. So safely at second. Sliding in is Bobby Hardy. And Vivacqua looking for his first hit of the night. Does have an RBI, but it's 1-1 to him as that catches the outside edge of the zone. Excuse me, we've gotten word that it's an 0-2 count. Pitch from Kasperwitz, fouled. Pop up into the stands.
Rolled back into the play area. No kids can grab that one.
Oh. And Kasperwitz with the count in his favor. Runner now on second is Bobby Hardy. He took off on an earlier pitch. That's on the inside corner. Hardy thought about it, but scurrying back to second base. I think he was waiting to see if the pitch would get away from Dalton Harper, but Harper making a nice stop there on the low ball. An excellent catcher for these Americans. As Vivacqua takes the second ball outside to make it 2s across the board. Balls, strikes, and outs. Runner on second. Vivacqua looking to advance him or even score him. The pitch from Kasperwitz. Lined down into center field.
Nice.
And the leaping catch for Grant Moore for out number 3. He had to reach out for that one. An excellent play. Sends it to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be right back.
No, I'm kind of thirsty. Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better. This season, you can connect with the Americans like never before with exclusive content on our social media platforms. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.
And all the ats are on your screen right now. Shout out to our social media managers, Frankie Morris and Leah Fraun, for keeping everything running to a greater extent than ever. But Brennan Heilman will keep going here for the Doubledays, and he'll see the middle of the Americans order in this inning. Paul Delanto, Nick Past, and Evan Core. Core had the first hit of the night, the only hit of the night for the Americans. But Paul Delanto certainly a capable hitter as well.
Yeah, especially last night after that bomb to the right center field over the wall. Let's see if he can do it again.
And here comes Delanto. And as you saw during the commercial break, you can get your Coke beverages down at concessions during this 4th inning and every other inning, but this particular inning is sponsored by Coke. As strike 1 finds the low edge of the zone, Heilman continues to have a great day on the bump here for the Doubledays.
Yeah, it's a good thing for the Doubledays. Not so good for the Americans.
Yeah, came in with a 5.14 ERA, but he's found a way to win every time, gotten a lot of run support. As the swing and miss by Paul Delanto makes it 0-2. So the Doubledays have double strikes here on Delanto. Outside ball 1, and Delanto stays in this. He flied out his first time up to bat into right field. It was a deep one, similar spot to the home run yesterday. a little more to the right. Swing and a miss, and Delanto was swinging for the fences, but strike 3. Heilman strikes out his 4th batter of the night, and Nick Past is up next. So the full stat line for Heilman, 3 1/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So a lot of walks for these Americans, but they haven't been able to score those runners. It's ball 1 to Past. Past had a great first day as an American, batting .273. Ground ball. Heads to Vasquez at second and to Fishbein at first for out number 2. So 0 for 2 on the day now is Nick Past. I'm receiving reports that we've got some Doubledays players out by concessions returning foul balls.
Yeah, they're turning them in for some snacks. Usually it's the young fans, but I guess Doubledays players have some other ideas.
Yeah, but Evan Core up with 2 outs to face the Doubleday on the mound, and Brennan Heilman, and it's strike 1 to him. And the sun shining even brighter here on this beautiful day. About an hour into the game. Ooh. Oh! And Evan Core gets hit on the back of the head. Seems to be all right as he jogs over to first.
Yeah, that one looked like it hurt, but that's what the helmets are for. Protect the noggin.
Yeah, first hit batter of the night for Brennan Heilman. As Core takes his base, Chris Gonzaldo up next looking for his first hit of the night. Came into the game batting .400, then popped out in foul territory to Fishbein. His first time up tonight. So 1-0 pitch on the way soon from Brennan Heilman. Pop up once again.
Come on, son.
And Fishbein going to make the catch. Basket catch for out number 3. Gonzaldo has popped out twice tonight. We'll be right back with the 5th inning. Doubledays still leads 6-0.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the 5th inning, sponsored by Tropical Heating and Cooling. Call 716-870-0753 for expert service. All of your heating and AC needs here in Niagara Falls, where the weather is, as always, unpredictable. I mean, you had in the same week, a couple weeks back, 40s and rain and then 80s and sunny. So you never know what you're going to get here in Niagara Falls. But it's been some nice weather of late, some nice weather tonight here, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, when you've lived in Buffalo your whole life, you're used to it. You're getting rain, you're getting snow. I mean, you're getting sun. It's all over the place, but I'm glad tonight it's a nice sunny day out.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great day for baseball. The Americans hoping to climb out of a 6-0 hole.
C.J. Hurley.
And it'll be Adam Sullivan, Kieran Kehoe, and Anthony DeCesare to face the Americans in this inning.
Yeah, C.J. Hurley.
It's C.J. Hurley coming in to pitch for the Americans after Matt Kasperwitz gave them the first 4 innings. So Hurley had the start against Batavia and gave up 5 runs in 4 innings, but he had a great 2024 with the team, a 1.42 ERA that season.
Yeah, those are some numbers I'd like to see. So let's see what he can go out here and do today with these Doubledays.
Yeah, Adam Sullivan, his first customer, takes strike 1. He's 1 for 2 on the day, single and a strikeout. And one strike on him already here. The inside pitch goes for ball 1 as Sullivan has to move his legs back a bit. Hurley, one of 2 lefties on this Americans pitching staff, and now 2 balls and 1 strike to Sullivan. Oh, that was a close one.
Nope, it hit him.
They'll say it got a piece of him. Adam Sullivan takes his base. And that's not an ideal start for C.J. Hurley, but plenty of time to recover as Kieran Kehoe comes up next.
Yeah, Hurley was showing some positivity out there, got some strikes in on the zone. Unfortunately, though, one of the balls gets loose and hits the batter.
These Doubledays, when they are on, they are really on fire. In their wins this season, won 10-4 and 10-5. It's 1-1 to Kehoe as that one finds its way back over the plate. Hurley has a good view of first base, but fouling it off is Kehoe to make it 1-2. Doubledays have also had some pretty tough losses. Went down 14-0 to the Pilots the other day, but looks like an on night here for Auburn as it's 2-2 in the count. And the pitch from Hurley way inside to fill up the count at the feet. Of the hitter Kehoe. And the pitch heads to first base, bobbled by Ethan Madison, and will not get there in time as Hurley attempts to cover. Here in Kehoe reaching on the error. That's 3 errors for the Americans tonight. Not what you want to see.
No, definitely not. Especially when you got bats hot like the Doubledays do here. But that ball seemed to be like an easy ground out to Madison, but unfortunately just bobbles it, and now Doubledays got 2 guys on.
Yeah, and these Auburn Doubledays, it's the start of a home-and-home here. The Americans will face them tomorrow at Falcon Park as DeCesare shows bunt. That's strike 1 as it goes foul. DeCesare on the night is 0 for 2, ground out and a fly out. So whether it's on the ground or in the air, the Americans have found ways to retire him tonight. And Hurley has the 0-1 count on him with 2 on. Ground ball up the middle. The out at second by Bowles,
nice.
Covering himself, and it's a double play for the first 2 outs in the inning. Adam Sullivan heads to third, but the 4-3 double play, Brady Bowles making the tag and then making the throw. He has had quite the night at second base.
Yeah, it looked like Chris Gazaldo was there to help without that double play, but Brady Bowles does it himself.
Yeah, Bowles and Gazaldo, some great chemistry, played together in the middle infield at Panola. They have had great communication going all night long, and Gazaldo has had his errors here and there, but some great plays as well. Strike 1 now on the next hitter, JST, Jed Strange Tregear. So Hurley has an 0-1 count on him. That's fouled off. Pop foul down the first base line to make it 0-2. So C.J. Hurley 1 strike away from from getting out of this inning without a scratch. Would lower his ERA.
There it is.
Swing and a miss. C.J. Hurley gets his first strikeout of the night. And we'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Americans trying to come back in this 6-0 deficit. Ever dreamed of playing catch right here at Sal Magley Stadium? Well, join us June 22nd for a post-game catch on the field.
Fans, you or someone you know have a birthday coming up? Why not spend it with the Americans? Packages include 10 tickets, 2 large Sammy's Pizza, 10 drinks, customized Wegmans cakes, autographed Americans baseballs, and special recognition at the game, starting at just $175. Sign up online at www.niagarafallsamericans.com.
Yes, great place to celebrate your birthday here at Sal Magley as we are underway for the bottom of the fifth in just a moment here. But speaking of kids, the Wegmans Kids Run is at the end of this inning, and that birthday package sponsored by Wegmans and Sammy's Pizza. So we'll keep it here at the end of the fifth inning to show the Kids Run and remind everyone of the amazing Americans birthday package. But up in this inning will be the bottom of the order: Dalton Harper, Shane Prey, and Derek Gismondi. And they may be batting at the back end, but certainly capable hitters. Harper walked his first time up, a .273 hitter. Shane Prey batting over .300, and Derek Gismondi has 8 walks on the season. Heilman throws the first pitch to Harper. Fly ball into right field, down the foul side, will drop into the batting cage area. So Dalton Harper, a multi-hit game his last time out on Sunday against the Tarp Skunks. Got a few days off and now back behind the dish. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So what do you do here, Avery, if you're Dalton Harper in the 0-2 hole?
I mean, if I'm him, I'm looking for a pitch that might be outside. Pitcher might try to throw him off here, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, gonna have to be careful what you swing at here. He'll take one outside to make it 1-2. And Dalton Harper did walk his first time up, has shown plenty of patience, but sometimes you got to swing at him, and it was a good effort on strike 2 by Harper. Ooh, ground ball, and it is bobbled by Vasquez. Will the throw get there in time? Yes, it will. It's out number 1 on Harper, but ended up being a close one after a slight misplay by Alex Vasquez. Shane Prey will bat next. And 0 for 1 on the night. Alex Vasquez caught that out. Ooh, ground ball. And Sullivan will make the play for a quick out number 2. So 2 ground outs and Harper and Prey down. And Gismondi will be up next.
That ball looks like it was going to get by the shortstop there. Unfortunately, he makes a good play and gets the out.
So Gismondi, 7 walks on the season. Struck out looking his first time up. Pitch from Heilman is low for the ball. Brendan Heilman looking for his 5th scoreless inning. He has been excellent tonight. Product of Monroe Community College, but transferring to UMaine after this season. Ground ball, and another one by Vasquez to Fishbein for out number 3. Max Fishbein had his work in for him in that bottom of the 5th. We'll be right back with the 6th inning.
No, I'm kind of thirsty. Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back early here for the Wegmans Kids Run, and here we go. Yankee Doodle Dan looking to go 3-0. And indeed he does with pretty good ease, but yeah, that's a run back for a second there. So Yankee Doodle Dan has to go back for his phone, and is now, I guess, depending on your definition, either 2-1 or 3-0 in the Wegmans Kids Run. And this 6th inning is brought to you by Wegmans, but also by Niagara County Legislator Chris Robins, Local Laborers 91, Wegmans also sponsoring the Kids Run and bringing in cakes for birthdays here at Sal Magley. But this 6th inning, we'll see the Doubledays bring up Sam Meyer, Max Fishbein, and Alex Vasquez. Fishbein and Vasquez connecting on a couple outs in that bottom of the 5th inning. And the southpaw C.J. Hurley will keep pitching here in the 6th. As Sam Meyer comes up for the Doubledays. Ball 1 outside. So Doubledays looking to expand on their 6-0 lead. And 2 balls on the count should help. C.J. Hurley going into his 2nd inning of work for the day. Throws ball 3. And Avery, how do you think C.J. Hurley can find the strike zone here?
Nicked it on the corner there, right there. So he got a strike in, but he made out the last inning clean. So we'll see if he keeps it up here and doesn't allow any runs.
Yeah, it's 3-1. On the hitter, Meyer, he swings and misses to make it a full count.
Yeah, I really had him swinging out of his shoes on there. Unfortunately, no contact, so keeps the bat going.
Yeah, Sam Meyer 0 for 2 on the day, but reached on the error, and he swings and misses on strike 3. Is sent packing for the first time today on a strikeout.
I'd like to see that out of Hurley. Gets, puts the count in the batter's favor, but comes back and gets the strikeout.
And it's across 2 innings, but Hurley has struck out the last 2 batters he's faced. Try to make it 3 here with Max Fishbein, but that's going to be called an outside ball. Fishbein stepping back in, has reached both times up today. 1 on a single, 1 on an error. Line drive into center field. Moore will be there to make the catch. And it's 2 down very early here for the Doubledays in this top of the 6th inning, but they do have 6 runs of insurance, so got to be feeling pretty good. But you can't count any game over against these Americans, especially it's 6 runs on the board. It's not quite 10 yet, so the Americans have plenty of innings to make up ground as that one will bounce in the dirt. So it's ball 1.
Yeah, as you said.
Finds the strike zone on the inside edge, and as you were saying, Avery.
Yeah, you said, Andrew, down by 6 runs, but these Americans, they never give up. That's why baseball is 9 innings. You got plenty of time to get some runs. It's not all going to happen in 1 inning, so we'll see what the Americans do to get back into this game.
Yeah, 2-1 count on Vasquez, and it is their biggest deficit of the season, but they've had a lot of back and forth victories. They've shown that they can be clutch. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Alex Vasquez. In the dirt to fill up the count with 2 outs. C.J. Hurley 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 inning. And his 2nd clean inning on the mound. After Matthew Kasprowitz gave up 6 in 4 innings pitched. Line drive up the middle. Moore coming in. And
nice.
will lean forward to make the catch for out number 3. Grant Moore has had quite the day out in center field, and we'll see him bat when we're right back.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Back for the bottom of the 6th inning, and Brennan Heilman is still going, but Avery, take it away.
Remember, fans, an Americans game is a great way to entertain a group for the evening, and we're able to offer fundraisers tailored to your group needs, nonprofits, churches, youth sports, and more. For all group information, please visit our website at www.niagarafallsamericans.com.
Yeah, our VIP section's great for groups. Got some fans down in VIP tonight, and Grant Moore will lead off the inning here for the Americans. It's back to the top of the order. He takes a low ball one inside. He is 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to left field and then walked. Got caught stealing for the first time this season. Foul ball behind him.
Yeah, he was caught stealing earlier, but that's not something you see every day out of him. He's got 10 stolen bases.
Yeah, Grant Moore has had a great season here for the Americans. PGCBL Position Player of the Week for the West Division this past week. And has to get away from another one there for ball 2. Grant Moore has taken a lot of walks, gotten a lot of hits up. See if he can get one here. 3-1 count to him. And the way this is going, Grant Moore may have himself another free 90 right here, which is not what you want to do if you're Brennan Heilman with a guy who can really run those bases.
Yeah, this would be good for the Americans. Get their quick guy on base, maybe do some damage here. And there it
is ball 4, as you mentioned, Avery. And Grant Moore was 11 for 11 headed into the night on steals. Now 11 for 12, but I'd expect him to be aggressive here and looking for another bag. And it's Brady Bowles up next. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Bowles has walked twice, as Grant Moore has now. Moore a bit of a lead at first, but being a little more careful now, and another cut and miss by Bowles to make it 0-2. And Bowles has definitely been aggressive early in at-bats here, but he's shown the ability to have some patience once he's down 0-2 in the count. And the results are 2 walks.
Yeah, we see that patience right there. Didn't really get the bat off his shoulders, but didn't need to. That ball was high, so.
Yeah, I honestly like the strategy, even when Heilman's not pitching to him, of going for those first 2 pitches, because it tires out Heilman.
Yeah.
Fills up counts.
Yeah, it fills up counts, and like you said, it tires him out, gets his pitch count up, and hopefully get him out of this game a little earlier than they expected.
Yeah, Brennan Heilman in his 6th inning of work has yet to give up a run to these Americans, but given up a handful over the course of the season, hence his 5.14 ERA headed into the game. And it's another full count to Brady Bowles.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Andrew, his patience. Started off 0-2, gets the full count here. Now let's see what happens. Maybe we might see some action over there at the Grant Moore on first base.
And now is maybe the time for either a ball 4 or some foul tips, but quick timeout first.
Seems to be some flies in the batter's box.
Yeah, umpire taking off his mask for a second to try and shoo him away.
Yeah, and don't want to fly in your eye when you're trying to hit the ball.
Yeah, umpire having to motion his hand again. Maybe another fly. Grant Moore tried it first. He's safe. The pickoff attempt unsuccessful by Heilman. As Grant Moore gets his lead back at first. Foul tip behind Brady Bowles, and that's 6 pitches in the at-bat. This is what Bowles is just doing an excellent job at tonight.
Yeah,
Extending at-bats
he's extending his at-bats.
to the longest possible moment.
Yeah, like we said, too. Keeping the pitch count, getting his pitches higher. So let's see what happens.
And there's ball 4. It's first and second. And these guys can run, so double steal could be on the table.
Yeah,
As
especially
Ethan Madison comes up next.
especially too, like as you said, Andrew, a double steal could be possible, especially with no outs. You got a little room to work here, and as we see the manager of the Doubledays seems to come out to talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, and Brady Bowles doing his best Derek Gismondi impression tonight. He has 3 walks, trying to chase Gismondi's 4. And it's a meeting on the mound. Coaching staff coming out for Auburn. Doubledays managed by Matthew Petrossi, as well as his assistant Ryan Fletcher.
Yeah, Andrew, as you saw there, Brady Bowles was battling there in that at-bat. Got about 7-8 pitches there, and he gets on base. As a pitcher, do you feel like those pitches are kind of wasted just letting the guy get to first?
Yeah, I mean, you got Brady Bowles 0-2 in the count, and then a bunch of balls and foul tips, and it just ends up being an unnecessarily long at-bat.
At that point, you would have said, like, yeah, let's just walk him instead.
Yeah, maybe just motion for an intentional walk at that point.
Yeah, give him the old Barry Bonds treatment.
Yeah, I mean, Grant Moore got that treatment the other day. But Ethan Madison up next with runners on first and second and nobody out. Americans looking to cash in for the first time tonight. And it's ball 1 upstairs to Madison.
This would be the time to do it. Andrew Cashin, you got Grant Moore in scoring position, but you got 2 guys on base. Maybe get some action here.
You got your 2 home run hitters on the year next up for the Americans. Madison and Delanto as it's ball 2 to Madison. And he's showing some more patience than usual here. I think he knows that if you get the bases loaded for Delanto, good things can happen. So he's playing a little more conservative here at the plate than usual. And it's 3 balls to him as Heilman's command of the strike zone is beginning to fade here in this 6th inning.
Yeah, like you said, Andrew, for Madison to get on base, might see some deja vu with Delanto back up to bat, be bases loaded.
And it's been a great day of work here for Heilman. He gets a strike there on the inside corner. Heilman hoping to get out of what was once a 3-0 lead in the count for Ethan Madison. As Heilman looks back, a stare down with Grant Moore, and Moore running back, but another check. Moore will not move. Fly ball into deep left field, and making the catch for out number 1 is Bobby Hardy. Runners will hold on that one. Just too risky to run on that. So in this 6th inning, it's 2 on, 1 out for Paul Delanto. And it may not be bases loaded, but definitely a good situation for him.
Yeah, regardless, if it's not a grand slam, still get 3 runs in and cut this lead in half.
0 for 2 on the night, though, so looking to find some contact here as Heilman is checking back and forth with Grant Moore. That finds the inside corner of the zone for strike 1. Very clear strike call from the ump.
He's not messing around today.
Yeah, Delanto. Plenty of time for him to recover here on the 0-1 count. Runners have a lead. Heilman checks back multiple times before delivering. And it's a take by Delanto in the outside corner to even up the count. 1's across the board. Balls, strikes, and outs. 2 ducks on the pond. And Delanto, with a home run here, could cut the lead in half. With any hit, could likely drive in Grant Moore from second. He's got some wheels. The pitch finds the outside edge of the zone. Some good framing by DeCesare, and this time the umpire will bite. 1-2 to Delanto with
Yeah,
one down.
I don't know if I caught the corner. Maybe the corner of the batter's box, but that's the best you get.
Yeah, I mean, looked right on the edge of the strike zone, some framing helping it out. It's a high ball 2. And DeCesare had to reach up for that one. There's no selling that. Returns to his squat as Delanto is now even in the count with Brendan Heilman. Heilman checks back on Moore. Now delivers. And it's a line drive foul down the first base line to keep Delanto alive in this at-bat, making a circle back around to the batter's box after the foul ball. 1 down. And 2 on for Paul Delanto. Came into this game batting .400 with an 1193 OPS. An inside ball to fill up the count. And this is a very critical moment for Brennan Heilman. He walked 2 consecutive batters before the flyout by Madison. Another walk here would load the bases for Nick Past. The pitch. And a check swing. They'll say he went on that one. It's strike 3 and 2 down. Second consecutive strikeout for Paul Delanto. Good effort, but unable to make things happen there. But it's still 2 on for Nick Past. And the Americans hoping not to strand runners here in this 6-0 deficit. Heilman throws high for ball 1. So still lots of balls coming from Heilman. The Americans hoping to take advantage. But they're getting 1 hit right now, so it's been a great outing by Heilman overall.
Yeah, he's been getting into some batters' favorite counts, but he battles back and gets some strikeouts.
Cut and a miss to make it 1-1 on the count. Past came into this batting .273. 0 for 2 on the night, though. 4 runs batted in on the season. Had a 2-run triple against Batavia in the season opener. Fouled back behind him. And that 2-run triple got a rally going over in Batavia. Can the same happen here potentially?
You never know, Andrew. It's a game of baseball, but a 2-run triple here would be a great start.
Yeah, or just any rally starter by Nick Past would be much needed for the Americans with 2 down and a 6-run deficit. As Moore has checked multiple times at second. Swing and a miss. Pass goes down. It's 2 consecutive strikeouts for Heilman to get out of the inning clean. Americans strand 2 as we head to the 7th inning in this 6-0 lead for Auburn.
No, I'm kind of thirsty. Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the 7th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network. Doubledays up 6-0 in this 7th inning is sponsored by Elks Lodge of Niagara Falls. Bikers Against Child Abuse, the Stauka Agency, and Red Robin Gourmet Burgers and Brews. So CJ Hurley will keep pitching here for the 3rd consecutive inning. Came in relief for Matt Kasperwitz. And he'll be facing Bobby Hardy, Austin Droge, and Tyler Vivacqua here in the 7th inning. Andrew Roberts still here with Avery Vogt as Hardy steps into the batter's box in just a moment here. What do you think the approach is here for C.J. Hurley? He's had a strong first 2 innings. How do you keep that going?
I mean, you just got to go out there and keep doing what you're doing. Throw strikes, throw some of these batters off, and if we keep getting these clean innings from him, maybe we get some run support.
And it's ball 1 to Hardy. Another pitch from Hurley. Low for ball 2, so an early hitter's count for Hardy, who has 2 singles and 2 RBIs on the day. The pitch. Another one low, and for some reason these Americans have just struggled to pitch to Bobby Hardy tonight. Lights are on here at Sal Magley, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Hardy to start off this 7th inning. C.J. Hurley giving up his first walk of the day.
Yeah, like you said, Andrew, it's his first walk of the day, but I'm not going to lose faith in him. He's been doing very well today. He's pitching the ball very well. I'm going to hopefully get some strikeouts here.
And Austin Droge is up next to face Hurley. Shows bunt. That goes way foul to make it 0-1. And been some quality baseball here tonight. Hasn't gone in the Americans' favor, but still a few innings left here. And the Doubledays have played a great game, so got to tip my hat over to them. The pitch from Hurley. Ooh. Finds the strike zone on the outside edge to make it 0-2.
Yeah, as you said, Andrew, the Doubledays are just playing some great baseball here today.
Yeah, and Hardy has a lead on first. He's on for the 3rd time tonight. Outside ball makes it 1-2. Hardy scurrying back to first. He knew Harper would be able to gun him out if he went for second base. Dalton Harper, a great presence behind the plate. And that is up the middle, back to Hurley. He is deciding where to throw, ends up going for the out at first. Hardy safe at second, but 1 down for the Doubledays here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, Hurley there looked like he was going to go to second. Well, not too sure what the decision was. Maybe the second baseman or the shortstop weren't ready for the play, but still gets the out at first.
I mean, Hardy has some speed. They realize, okay, I can't get the second baseman. Don't want 2 runners on here. So if that was his mindset, then I think it was a good call here by Hurley. Runner goes, but it's a chopper back to Hurley. He'll go for another out at first base, but it's been consecutive productive outs here for the Doubledays on the comebacker to C.J. Hurley. Both times have advanced Bobby Hardy a base. First to second, now to third. And it's Adam Sullivan with the chance to score him, but 2 down, so going to need a hit here if he wants to drive in the run, barring any errors, but swing and a miss. C.J. Hurley hoping to end this right here with his 3rd strikeout of the night. Already has 1 strike on Sullivan. And played some good defense on a couple of comebackers. Line drive will drop in the outfield for the base hit. There comes run number 7. Adam Sullivan does what he needs to do. His 2nd hit of the night and his 2nd RBI. So Bobby Hardy started at first with the walk, comes all the way home despite 2 down. And now just a runner on first for Kieran Kehoe with 2 down. Outside, ball 1. Kehoe comes from St. Joe's, a 300 hitter over there. And tonight is 0 for 1, takes the strike right there to even up the count.
Yeah, there's a high school around here in Buffalo called St. Joe's, private school that some of my buddies went to.
But a D1 college in Pennsylvania, that's where Kehoe comes from, also where Sam Meyer comes from. The teammates coming to the Doubledays together from high-level Division I baseball. Swing and a miss to even up the count. 2s across the board, balls, strikes, and outs, and C.J. Hurley, despite giving up the run, looking to get out of this inning without too much damage done.
There'll be some great confidence right here. Oop.
And that's a liner. Finds Gazaldo in the out at second on the force play for out number 3. We will head to the bottom of the 7th. Americans hoping to overcome this 7-0 deficit, or at least put some runs on the board. We'll be right back. Ever dreamed of playing catch right here at Sal Magley Stadium? Well, join us June 22nd for a post-game catch on the field. Back early here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a call to the bullpen for Auburn. Mac McGeorge coming in for the Doubledays. He is a two-way player here for them, and has had some appearances both as a batter and a pitcher. But in this bottom of the 7th, we remind you that the Americans would love to partner with your business. Avery, take it away.
The Americans have lots of options to make your presence known in your community. Please visit our website at www.niagarafallsamericans.com to get involved, and as always, go Americans.
So, bottom of the 7th inning here. Doubledays up 7-0 on the hometown Americans here at the barbershop, and it's a new pitcher after 6 excellent innings by Brennan Heilman. The Americans will hope to capitalize on the pitching change. Evan Core, Chris Gazaldo, and Dalton Harper will see the new pitcher Mac McGeorge in this inning. As a hitter, has not recorded a hit, a 500 OPS, and has seen some time as a pitcher for the Doubledays as well. Pitched an inning and a third against the Newark Pilots on June 8th. That was his last appearance. Quick meeting with Anthony DeCesare to kick off the inning here as Harper, or rather Core, comes up. Harper in the hole right now. And first pitch from Mac McGeorge to Evan Core goes inside for the ball. And McGeorge looking to keep this going for the Doubledays after an excellent start by Brennan Heilman. In his single appearance as a pitcher, did not give up a run. The 1-1 pitch from McGeorge goes low for ball 2. So the Americans looking to break McGeorge's clean record as a reliever. Pop-up will head towards Vasquez at second for out number 1. So Mac McGeorge has his first out of the day as Evan Core goes down. Chris Gazaldo has popped up twice himself, looking to buck that trend here against McGeorge. And Gazaldo wearing number 42, he has specifically said it is indeed in honor of the great Jackie Robinson. Pitch from McGeorge. Low and away for ball 1. And Avery, what do you think Gazaldo needs to do to get on base for the first time here?
I mean, we've seen some walks today, but if he swings the bat, sees something that he likes, gets just a hold of it and beats it out to first, you could see something here from the Americans.
Yeah, big cut and miss on strike one right there. As McGeorge keeps pitching. Gazaldo, the chopper to Sullivan. And out number 2
He's
will
safe.
not be in time. And Gazaldo is in safely at first base as Max Fishbein has to jump for it.
Yeah, like I said there, Andrew, he made some contact with it, made it to first on the air, and now let's see what the Americans do with Dalton Harper.
Yeah, it's a throwing error by Adam Sullivan because Fishbein had to move for that one and did not get back on the bag in time. Here's Dalton Harper with 1 on and 1 out. Takes a strike low. That finds the bottom of the zone. I think Harper was pretty sure that was going to be ball 1 as the pickoff attempt on Gazaldo is unsuccessful. Chris Gazaldo. Errors have kind of gone both ways for him tonight. He's had 2 of them himself, but also reached on 1. But Harper now up and grounds that down the third base line. It is bobbled by Stange Tregear, and it's 2 on now. Another error by the Doubledays. The Americans had 3 of them headed into this inning, and now the Doubledays almost chasing after him with 2 errors in this inning. So McGeorge has been pitching just fine, but the defense behind him starting to give way here in this 7th inning.
Yeah, it's not something you want to see from the Doubledays defense, but like you said, the pitcher's been going out there, giving some good pitches, so the defense just got to back him up.
And Shane Prey next up with runners on first and second takes a ball. And if the Americans can extend this enough, they'll get Grant Moore up to the plate with a big opportunity to get his first hit of the day and extend his hitting streak. Check back at second base. And that's a foul tip. Gazaldo on second and Harper on first. So McGeorge was checking on Gazaldo. Mac McGeorge, the super utility here for the Doubledays. The pitch will find the inside edge of the zone, makes it 1-2 on Prey.
Ball had some movement on it. Looked like it was going to hit the batter, but moves its way back into the strike zone.
Yeah, Prey is 0 for 2, looking for his first hit of the night. Came into the game batting .308. And the pitch from McGeorge is grounded down the first base line. It'll be out at first, but a productive one to advance the runners. And with just 1 hit in the game, the Americans have some runners in scoring position looking to put some runs on the board for the first time today. And don't be misled by the 1 hit. There's been plenty of traffic on the base paths. But Americans looking to cash in for the first time today, avoid some more runners left on base. And Derek Gismondi takes the ball. Do you think we see another walk here, Avery?
I mean, with Gismondi, we've seen so many walks this year. I wouldn't mind him getting a walk here and have Grant Moore come up to bat.
Yeah, Grant Moore would be up with the bases loaded, but 2 runners in scoring position and 2 down. Gismondi has to get on base somehow to keep this inning going.
Yeah, I definitely have enough confidence to see that, get him a hit here, get some ribbies, and get some runners scoring.
Gismondi looking for his first hit of the season. Redshirted his freshman year over at Mount St. Mary's. And it's 2-1 to him as that finds the outside corner. Both runners have a lead. Gazaldo at third, Harper now at second. And that is popped foul. Will drop into the bleachers right near our social media manager, Frankie Morris.
You gotta make that play, Frankie.
And our public address announcer, Doc Fonts, is chirping her in the stands. But runners on second and third. Derek Gismondi hopes to send him home or at least get on base to extend the inning with the even count. Swing and a miss. And that'll end the inning. Strand 2 more for the Americans. Just a lot of runners left on base, and that's been the story for Niagara Falls tonight. They trail 7-0. We'll be right back with the top of the 8th.
You know, I'm kind of thirsty. Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
We welcome you back early for the 8th inning with an Americans call to the bullpen after 3 innings from C.J. Hurley. They'll turn to his Niagara University teammate, Carter Hall. Hall, on the season, has made 2 appearances out of the bullpen, has an ERA of 9, and faced 3 batters against Jamestown on Sunday, but he'll face Anthony DeCesare, JST, Jed Staines Tregear, and Sam Meyer in this 8th inning, which is sponsored by Seneca Niagara Casino and Resort, the official casino of the Americans. More winning, more comfort, more entertainment. Go to SenecaNiagaraCasino.com for more. And a couple of Americans fans, after every game, can, if they come to the game, get a free play over at the casino. I've seen plenty of fans take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you could see the casino right from the stadium, it's kind of hard to miss it, and why not go over there and use some free play?
Yeah, definitely. And Anthony DeCesare going to be the first batter up here to face Carter Hall. Is 0 for 3 on the night, including grounding into a double play in the 5th inning. That helped out C.J. Hurley in his first inning of work. Auburn up 7-0, scored 6 of those on Matt Kasperwitz, another on C.J. Hurley. And for Matt Kasperwitz, only 4 of those runs were earned as there were some errors by the Americans, but DeCesare takes ball 1, low and away. And what do you think the approach is here for DeCesare looking to get on base for the first time, Avery?
Well, I mean, the Doubledays would like to get some runs here, but it's not necessarily needed. They're up 7-0 here, so maybe keep the bat in his shoulders like we've seen so far. He's got 2 balls, so we might see a walk here, but I'm hoping for a strikeout.
Yeah, some patience with the 7-0 lead is warranted. It's a 2-0 count from Carter Hall. He's had some mixed results with his command of the plate, but a swing and miss right there on a fastball right down the pike. Just too much for DeCesare. He saves the fastball for a couple of pitches. I think it's smart strategy by Carter Hall. And lined foul down the first base line to make it 2-2. What do you think Carter Hall goes with here, Avery?
You know, might get him with a fastball, catch a corner here, and send him packing.
Yeah, working those corners is what Joe Chaya was able to do in relief last night. But an upstairs ball 3 to fill up the count.
Yeah, we see that fastball there. Didn't quite catch the strike zone, but maybe he might go back to it again.
Yeah, Carter Hall got to focus on his command here first, but one of the strikes on DeCesare was on a speeding pitch, but It's ball 4 outside as DeCesare gets on base for the first time tonight. Anthony DeCesare, the only batter with a batting average below 300 in this top 6 for the Doubledays. So getting him on base with JST up to bat is big for them to maybe expand their lead. And if they get 3 more on the board, they could end this game in 8 innings, barring any Americans come back. A pitch way inside for ball 1. Americans mercied the Red Wings last night, hoping to avoid mercy on the other end tonight and possibly even make the comeback here.
Yeah, we'd love to see a comeback here, but it seems to be more flies in the batter's box.
Yeah. And those errors made early were costly for the Americans, but some errors for the Doubledays as well, and unfortunately some runners stranded as Gismondi was sent packing on the strikeout. It was his second strikeout of the day. He's had 1 swinging, 1 looking. The fly ball now into left center field. Core and Moore both coming in, and Grant Moore will make the catch for out number 1. DeCesare stays at first, and it'll be Sam Meyer up next as Stange Tregear goes down to 1 for 4 on the night. He had a single in the second inning, has not reached base since then. And same story for Sam Meyer. Reached on the error, though, so he's 0 for 3. Carter Hall checking on DeCesare before delivering the first pitch, a swing and miss.
That's something you definitely want to see on the first pitch here from Carter Hall. Threw a fastball, looked like in, and got a big swing out of him.
Yeah, some nice stuff here shown by Carter Hall. A good mix of pitches. This is a Division I arm right here. So he's got the speed. He's got a good arsenal of pitches. Just looking for the results here in the top of the 8th. C.J. Hurley himself struck out 2 batters in 3 innings, another Niagara product. It's an upstairs and away ball 1 to even up the count. 1's across the board. With number 1 up to bat, Sam Meyer, and a runner on first. But the number for the Doubledays tonight has been 7. 7 runs, 7 hits. And it's 2-1 to Sam Meyer. 7, a lot of people say, is a lucky number. And it certainly has been for the Doubledays tonight, Avery.
Yeah, I'm not one to follow superstitions, but yeah, that 7's been sticking out for the Doubledays tonight.
That finds the outside corner to even up the count at 2. So it's been a back and forth battle here between Hall and the batter Meyer. Has played right field tonight for the Doubledays. The pitch is on the low outside corner to fill up the count. And Carter Hall has had a couple of full counts tonight. This is just his 3rd batter faced. He walked DeCesare on a full count, but 1 on and 1 out. The payoff pitch goes upstairs and inside. Another walk by Carter Hall makes it 1st and 2nd for Max Fishbein.
Now batting first baseman number 39, Max Fishbein.
Max Fishbein on the night is 1 for 3, but has reached twice. Second time came on the error. First of those coming on an RBI single as Carter Hall and Dalton Harper meet on the mound. Harper, also local to the Niagara area, catching over at SUNY Niagara. Has been Matt Barr's personal catcher for a long time. Barr will head to the Combine next week and then come back and pitch for the Americans. He's been to a number of MLB tryouts over the last few days. Angels, Tigers, and Rays. Inside for ball 1 as Carter Hall looks to refine his command of the strike zone, facing Max Fishbein.
Yeah, he wants to get some of these pitches. Maybe hit the corner, but if he needs to, get some balls in with some fastballs.
Fishbein with the 1-0 count takes another pitch for ball 2, and the pickoff attempt at first base, but Meyer gets back there safely. So 2-0 count as Carter Hall looks to climb back into this at bat against Fishbein. A low ball 3. We'll see if Fishbein gets the green light here. He's had some good moments tonight, reaching base twice. A .310 hitter back at school, but it's not common here in the PGCBL, so Hall is going to have to hope he throws a strike, and no, that's low. 4-pitch walk. Bases loaded for the Doubledays. Carter Hall is in trouble in this 8th inning as Alex Vasquez comes up with the bases loaded. Vasquez has singled, drove in a run on that. He flew out and then he lined out, so he's 1 for 3. And force play is all available here for the Americans with 1 down, but it's bases loaded for Carter Hall. It's a low ball 1. 5th consecutive ball thrown by Carter Hall. Actually, more than that, as there were a couple of balls to Meyer to walk him.
There we go.
Finds the strike zone to even up the count. 1's across the board. Bases loaded. It's a big moment for Carter Hall right here. He has the stuff. Can he find the strike zone? Not there. It's an inside pitch to make it 2-1, but Carter Hall still well in this at bat. As the sun sets here at Sal Magley, making for some beautiful views and some great baseball. 3-1 count. And 7 of the last 8 pitches have been balls for Carter Hall as a bird is flying over the field here. Ground ball. Bowles picks it up. Out at second. And the out at first not in time, so 2 down and coming in to score is Anthony DeCesare, a runner on third. So it's runners on the corners as Vasquez grounds into fielder's choice right there and gets the RBI for the Doubledays to make it 8-0. Could have been worse for Carter Hall, but still has another batter to retire. It's Bobby Hardy. Swing and a miss. A big cut by Hardy for strike 1.
Yeah, it would have been nice to get that double play there, but unfortunately, runner at first is safe, so
And Hardy has had
keeps going.
quite the night. Yeah, unfortunately, that runner safe would have been a great double play, as you mentioned, Avery. Ball 1 to him. And Hardy has walked once, singled twice, 2 RBIs to make him 2 for 2. How can Carter Hall retire him here, Avery?
Got a runner going to second. Nice play.
And that is going to be in time for out number 3.
What a throw
They
by Dalton
catch
Harper.
the runner stealing Alex Vasquez out at second to end the inning. Bottom of the 8th. Right after this is, yes, Dalton Harper making a great play.
My fellow American fans, my name is Frankie Morris, your social media manager. You can join us all summer long with many promotional nights and tickets just as low as $10. You can call and get tickets at 716-215-6161 and take a crack at the action.
Still. We'd like to remind everyone that an Americans game is a great way to bring your group together, whether it's a school, church, business, or youth sports organization. The Americans are also able to offer great options and even picnics for your organization or business. Reserve your group online at www.niagarafallsamericans.com.
Yeah, and plenty of groups here in the stands tonight, but Mac McGeorge will keep pitching in this 8th inning after 6 scoreless actually by Brennan Heilman, but the Americans will have the top of the order right here. Grant Moore, Brady Bowles, Ethan Madison. Moore was hoping to get up with those runners on 2nd and 3rd, but unfortunately, McGeorge striking out Derek Gismondi to end the inning. And now Moore back in a pretty comfortable role as the leadoff man.
Yeah, definitely. He's one of those guys you would love to have batting first, and that's the spot they put him in. With his 500 average and his 10 stolen bases, he's the guy you want to get on base.
Moore has walked twice tonight, flown out to left field, so he's 0 for 1. Looking for his first hit of the night. Strike 1 on the outside edge of the zone to Grant Moore. Had his first triple of the year last night. Going to see a lot of those for a speedster like him. 2 strikes to him now, though. He hopes to recover from this 0-2 hole. Was very patient on those. Now might start swinging. And swings it into left field. It's going to drop in foul territory as the kids are running after it. And it's very well known here, as evidenced by a lot of people, even Doubledays players, that you can exchange those foul balls for snacks over at concessions. As it's an outside ball, 1 to Grant Moore on the 4th pitch to him from McGeorge.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good deal, Andrew. Taking those balls, get some free snacks, get some Mike and Ikes.
Definitely. And the pitch. Another outside pitch to Grant Moore. Count is even up. Grant Moore is battling here. A lot of patience, despite what the Americans know, that his bat is excellent. And that is a ground ball down the first base line. Foul ball. It's the 6th pitch against Moore. He's making this a very tough at bat here against Mac McGeorge. It's what you want to do as the leadoff man. And it's a timeout. Now, how do you think Grant Moore can get his first hit of the day here, Avery?
I think he's got to be patient, but, you know, if he sees something he likes, just swing the bat, make some contact. We know he's got the legs to beat it out, so any contact could give him a chance to get on first.
Makes some contact right there, but it goes foul over the stands into the concourse, somewhere between home plate concessions and the third base beer garden. And you've got some kids scurrying out of the stadium to go grab it. Got some screams. Everyone's excited. Upstairs and away. For ball 3, it's a full count. And 7 pitches to Grant Moore in this at-bat. It'll be pitch number 8 from Mac McGeorge. Right here. The payoff pitch. Driven into center field. No, it'll fall a little bit short of that as Adam Sullivan comes in to catch the line drive.
I thought the ball was going to drop there, Andrew, and maybe Grant Moore get on base, but unfortunately we don't see that.
Yeah, just needed a little bit more on it to get to the outfield. Brady Bowles up next. To stay up in the air a little longer than originally anticipated, which allowed Adam Sullivan additional time to get there. But Bowles looking for walk number 4. He'd be the 2nd American to do that in a game. Strike 1 to Brady Bowles. 8-0 Doubledays. The Americans with 1 down, nobody on. In desperation right here. And it's 0-2 to Bowles. This would be the first loss of the season if the Americans are unable to complete a comeback here. Chopper heads into the glove of Stange Tregear at 3rd and across the field in time for out number 2. Ethan Madison up next. And Madison was retired twice before his home run on Tuesday, but he's 0 for 3 today. Looking to improve upon that against these Doubledays and Mac McGeorge with 2 down. That finds the inside corner of the zone for strike 1. A close call by the umpire. Higher up for ball 1. Ethan Madison. We'll see how much patience he shows here with an 8-0 deficit. Takes the ball outside. I think he knows now there are many ways for him to get on base with 2 down. Pitch from McGeorge. Swung on, ground ball. Another one picked up by JST at third. And another 5-3 ground out. Ends the inning. Americans sent packing 1-2-3. We head to the top of the 9th. Doubledays lead 8-0.
No, I'm kind of thirsty.
Me too. We could really use something.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yankee Doodle Dan.
That's better.
Back for the 9th inning as we have some trivia down on the field, but this 9th inning here on the Americans Baseball Network is sponsored by Casella, Celino Plumbing, Blaze Brockway, and Wright Beverages. And Avery Carter Hall is still going to be pitching here for the Americans. Bobby Hardy will get a second shot after a runner caught stealing on his last at-bat. That runner being Alex Vasquez at second base. But Avery, what does Carter Hall need to do to finish out this game strong here?
I mean, we just need to see what we've been seeing all day is just get some strikes in there, maybe go 1-2-3 this inning and give a little spark to the Americans, maybe get the offense rolling before the end of this game.
Yeah, maybe some good defense will get them going, but Carter Hall gave up a run in the 8th, looking to avoid that here in the 9th, but not how you want to start as he whacks Bobby Hardy on the back. He'll take his base.
That was Bobby Hardy, by the way, leading off the inning. Now batting center
And I
fielder,
mean,
28, Austin Droge.
Carter Hall has time to recover, but a runner on the hit batter. His first hit batter of the day, but Austin Droge is up next with the runner on. Droge looking for his first hit as a double day. 0 for 2 on the night. Ball 1 right there. Droge did get on with a walk in that long stretch of base runners for the Doubledays, but has not gone on base since. This would be a big moment to here.
Yeah, let's hope we can keep that streak alive and Carter Hall keep him off the base path.
Yeah, 2-0 to him though, so could be another walk here for Droge. Came into the game with an on-base percentage of 200 despite his lack of a hit this season. Chopper heads foul. Way out of reach of Shane Prey, the third baseman. And it's 2-1. So still a hitter's count for Droge. See if he takes advantage and takes some swings here. Up the middle for the base hit. And just as I say that, it's first and second. Austin Droge with his first hit as a double day. And it'll bring up the leadoff man, Tyler Vivacqua, as the Doubledays look to really secure this victory if it hasn't been secured already.
Yeah, they got 2 guys on base with no outs. They might add a couple runs here. Make it a little harder for the Americans to come back.
Yeah, and Paul Delanto would be the first batter up for Niagara Falls in the bottom of the ninth. Swing and a miss for Vivacqua. Strike one to him. And it'll be interesting to see if the Americans stick with their order in the ninth inning or bring in some pinch hitters. I think it depends on who comes out to the mound, but that's lined into right field for the base hit. Very hard hit. All runners hold. Oh, wait. We've got a run down at third, but now the ball gets away for at home plate. 1 run scores, 2 runs score, and it ends up being safe at third base, Tyler Vivacqua. So that just spun way out of control on the triple by, or rather single, and advances on throws for Tyler Vivacqua. 2 runs score on that. So Vivacqua having quite the hit for himself, as it's a foul ball by Adam Sullivan to make it 0-2. Sullivan 2 for 3 on the night. And Vivacqua driving in his second and third runners of his night after the sac fly back in the second inning. Won't count as RBIs as they advanced on the throw, but 1-2 now to Adam Sullivan. 10 runs, 9 hits for the Doubledays. Those lucky 7s have now been exceeded. More errors than hits for the Americans tonight.
Yeah, it's not something you want to see out of these Americans, but they've had a strong start to the season. One bad game, but you look past on it and you keep going.
It'll be their first time trying to bounce back from this if they end up losing tonight, but a ground ball. Madison will get the out at first, but another run scoring on the RBI. Ground out taken by Madison himself. So it's 11-0 Doubledays now. Adam Sullivan logging his 3rd RBI of the night. Now 2 for 4. And Kieran Kehoe up next. Check swing. He went. Strike 1 on Kehoe. And on the night, Kehoe is 0 for 3. Also got hit. Reached on an error. 1-1 to him. So 1s across the board. Balls, strikes, outs. Nobody on anymore. They've all scored. And that is way inside. Almost hits him, but we'll go for ball 2 on the count. Kehoe's certainly a capable hitter, but nobody on, so not much pressure on him. 3-1. He might get on anyway, Avery. Carter Hall has got to find the strike zone.
Yeah, got a strike on him. He's got 3 balls, no one on the base path, so we might see a walk here, but I'm hoping for Carter Hall to get back into this at bat and strike him out.
Yeah, I would put a runner on for DeCesare, but it does indeed. Another walk by Carter Hall. It's his 4th walk of the game.
Stepping in for Auburn, the catcher, number 19.
And the Niagara Falls Americans tonight, it's not quite to Geneva Red Wings level, but they have walked 6 batters tonight, so that is more than you want to see, but an inside ball to DeCesare with a runner on first and 1 down. 3 runs have scored in this 9th inning for the Doubledays, and that finds the strike zone to make it 1-1 once again.
27 in the Auburn bullpen.
And in the Doubledays bullpen is Wyatt Ernst. Appears he may come in for the 9th, but it's 1-2 right now to DeCesare. The Americans have to worry about getting the final 2 outs here first before they even come up to bat. Paul Delanto will be up first for them when that happens, though. And that is lined into the outfield for another base hit. DeCesare gets his first hit of the night, on for the second time. It's runners on first and second for Jed Stange Tregear.
Now batting the third baseman, number 2, Jed Stange Tregear.
Stange Tregear is 1 for 4 himself, as DeCesare just reached that marker with a single. Struck out once. And facing Carter Hall with 2 on and 1 out. Way outside for ball 1. No action in the Americans' pen. They're hoping not to use another pitcher in this shutout ball game. And that gets away from Dalton Harper, but runners will hold on ball 2. Stange Tregear singled in the second inning. 3 outs in a row for him, his last 3 at bats. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 down. No pitch right there. And Stange Tregear out of Youngstown State. Number 4 shortstop in the state of Washington, according to Perfect Game line. Or ground ball, rather, down the third base line for strike 1. But yeah, Stange Tregear hails from Seattle, Washington, and one of the best shortstops in the game over there is shifted over to third here in the PGCBL. Make way for Adam Sullivan. A lot of converted shortstops here in the Doubledays infield tonight, as it's a swing and miss for strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Runners have a lead at first and second. Those runners being DeCesare and Kehoe, the last 2 batters. Pitch from Hall, upstairs at the helmet of Stange Tregear for ball 3. Fills up the count, and Carter Hall has walked a couple of guys on these full counts. Paul Wolf coming out now to meet with Carter Hall.
The umpire looks like he's going with him.
Once again, fans, don't forget your Americans are back here at Sal Magni.
Doesn't appear that there's much action in the Americans' pen just yet, but we'll take a look.
Nope.
New pitcher coming in anyways.
Yeah, it seemed the umpire had to let Wolf know that since he's going to the mound, he's got to make the change.
And the plan was for Hudson Boring to be pitcher number 4 into the game. Get your word on if this is him in just a moment. And it is indeed Hudson Boring coming into the game for the Americans. Boring on the season has 2 saves, tied for the team lead with Brady Toney. Boring has struck out 3 on the season, has not given up a run just yet, but it's a tough situation he enters into with runners on first and second. Has gotten the Americans out of jams before, pitched 1 2/3 on Tuesday against Jamestown and came in with some traffic in the 8th inning, but got them out of it.
Yeah, he's brought into a different kind of game here. He's got 2 runners on, but hoping to get just the last 2 outs here for the Americans to bring them back up to bat.
Yeah, almost reminiscent of that 8th inning against Jamestown.
Yeah, we got a much different score here, though.
Yeah, 11-0 Doubledays. Americans were close in that one. I mean, it was a 7-3 lead, run given up to make it 7-4, and then Boring comes in to get them out of the jam. But right here, the Doubledays, it's been all Auburn tonight, quite frankly. But Boring looking for the final 2 outs here as Carter Hall goes 1 1/3. Gives up 4 runs. And unlike Matt Kasperwitz, all 4 of those will be earned. So in just 1 1/3 innings, Carter Hall has tied Matt Kasperwitz for the most earned runs in this game. C.J. Hurley pitched 3 innings of 1-run ball in between. So best work of the night for the Americans pitching staff thus far has been from Hurley. Swing and a miss by Staines Tregear. It's 2 down.
Yeah, it's not something you see every day. Pitcher come in, get 1 strike and a strikeout.
Yeah. Coming in the middle of the at-bat, I think the meeting on the mound made for an unexpected change, but trying to keep the pace of play going here. This game right now, just over 2 hours 20. And fouled off by Sam Meyer behind him for strike 1. With 2 down and 2 on for the Doubledays. 1 runner in scoring position would be run number 12 if he's able to be plated here. But Hudson Boring has a 1-1 count here against Sam Meyer, looking for strikeout number 5 of his Americans career. The pitch fouled off for strike 2. So a couple of them fouled off behind Sam Meyer, but it's gotten him in a 1-2 hole here. He's 0 for 3, but has reached twice, error and a walk. Boring checks second base, then delivers in the dirt for ball 2. The runners on base are DeCesare and Kehoe. They got on after a few runs were plated earlier in the inning. Pitch from Boring. Chopper foul down the third base line. It's 2s across the board. Ball strikes out. The exceptions being it's not JST number 2 up to bat anymore. It's number 1, Sam Meyer. And we'll hope to keep the Doubledays going in this inning. But, I mean, got to feel pretty good about an 11-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's some cushion you got. Oh.
The comebacker to Boring. Sent to first base. And Madison completes out number 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th, and the Americans will have their last hope with Delanto, Past, and Core coming up to bat in the bottom of the 9th. We'll be right back.
Ever dreamed of playing catch right
You're good
here
on
at
this one. I'm just going
Salmaguer
to do
Stadium?
2 outs.
Well, join us June 22nd for a post-game catch on the field.
It's still McGeorge. Back for the bottom of the 9th, and Mac McGeorge will keep pitching with an 11-run cushion from his Doubledays offense. Sometimes he's a part of the Doubledays offense, not tonight, but has played some games on the offensive side of the ball. And it's Paul Delanto, his first customer here in this 9th inning, as the Americans, it's their last hope to score some runs and come back in this game. The only hit tonight came from Evan Core. And Paul Delanto looking for his first. Pitch from McGeorge goes outside for ball 1. McGeorge has now pitched over the course of his Doubledays career 3 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball out of the pen in 2 appearances.
Yeah, I mean, when he can do that out of the pen, but also go on the offensive side and get some hits, it's kind of a good thing for the Doubledays. They got someone who could do both sides of the ball.
I mean, that pitch was way off base, over the head of the batter. To make it 2-0 rather. Outside, 3-0 count. And the pitch is in there on the outside edge of the zone for strike 1. George staying alive in this at bat as the sun in its final minutes before setting here at dusk here at the barbershop. A full count payoff pitch from McGeorge. Fouled off. Delanto not going down easy here. 0 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts. But he's certainly a capable hitter. 8 RBIs to lead the team. The payoff pitch goes high for ball 4, and Delanto reaches base for the first time tonight. Wasn't through his power, but rather through his patience.
Yeah, we like to say Delanto didn't really need a swing there, but he gets on base and maybe get something going here for the Americans. Show a little hope here at the end of the game.
The Americans have reached base on walks 7 times tonight, compared to just 1 hit. And that is grounded down into the outfield. Gets past shortstop Adam Sullivan. Nick Pass has a single. It's the 2nd hit for the Americans tonight. It's runners on first and second. And, I mean, if there's any sign of hope for the Americans, 2 on with nobody out, is a pretty decent sign.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a pitch there. And, you know, Nick Pass saw a pitch he liked, and he swung and got it past the shortstop, and now we got 2 on.
And these guys, even if they can't win, we're going to put up some fight, carry some momentum into their next game. They'll face the Doubledays again here in a home and home. They'll head to Falcon Park tomorrow. First pitch at 6:30, right here on the Americans Baseball Network once again. And it's a low ball 1 to Evan Core. Last 2 batters have gotten on base. Delanto walked. He's now at second and passed at first after the single. The pitch inside to make it 2-0. McGeorge's command of the plate now starting to fade, just how Heilman's did in his final inning.
Yeah, and if McGeorge keeps pitching like this, maybe one of these he lets go and goes across the middle of the plate and gets some runners in for the Americans.
Not much in the Auburn pen just yet, but it's 2-1 as that finds the strike zone on Evan Core. Was the first American to record a hit tonight, also got hit in his next at bat. So reached his first 2 times. Runners have the lead. The pitch is driven up the middle and appears to going to drop in the gap for a hit. Evan Core will hold up at first, but Delanto going to score. Pass to third. It's runners on the corners and an RBI single for Evan Core's 2nd hit of the day.
I love to see this out of the Americans, Andrew. They're not going anywhere. At least they're not going to go down without a fight. I know they're down by 10 runs here, but to get a hit and a run in, carry a little momentum into this game.
2 hits and a run in this inning. And the next batter will be Chris Gazaldo. who will take ball one. Gazaldo looking for his first hit of the day. Did reach on the error. And they will check on Evan Corritt first. He slides in safely. Drove in a run with that single. Been one of the most consistent hitters for the Americans. And he takes off as it's a line drive into left field. That'll drop for another hit. 1 run scores. And Cornell coming around. It'll be a double that scores 2 runs. Chris Gazaldo. Rather, it'll be a single in error. But Gazaldo heads into second on the error. And it scores 2 runs. Gazaldo with a nice one there to reach base for the second time today. But his first hit, and Dalton Harper with the runner on second. Gazaldo will come up to bat. It's now 11-3 Doubledays. The Americans showing some fight here in this 9th inning. Gazaldo will get credit for one of the RBIs, the other coming on an error.
Yeah, Gazaldo, he just sees a ball he likes. He put a lot of lumber on that ball, crushes it out to left field, and we get 2 more runs across, and look in this deficit, look a little less each time.
And I mean, seeing how good these Americans hitters are, you got to tip your hat to the Doubledays pitching staff for holding them off for this long. I mean, 1 hit up to this point, and now the bat's showing what they can do in this 9th inning.
Yeah, we got no outs here, and already 3 runs across. I mean, it's been pretty good so far for the Americans. Let's see if they can keep this going.
Yeah. Now some action in the bullpen for the Doubledays. But McGeorge, for now, will stay in the game. In an 11-3 lead for the Doubledays that the Americans are slowly cutting into, and another runner in scoring position in the form of Chris Gazaldo.
Oh, yeah.
And with 3 runs on the board, it's free McCafe Fraps for everybody in the audience here at the barber shop. It's 0-1, though, to Dalton Harper. The Doubledays looking for their first out of the 9th inning. That'll find the outside edge of the strike zone to make it 0-2 on Harper. Harper has not struck out tonight, so we'll see if he can climb out of this. Has reached twice, once on an error, once on a walk. So he's 1 for 2 on the day. Or 0 for 2, rather. But ball 1 outside.
Yeah, we're seeing some action here from the Doubledays in the bullpen. We got Ryan Paginellis up
Ryan
in the pen.
Paginellis, yes, in the bullpen for the Doubledays. See if he comes in as the Americans look to drive in some more runs. And McGeorge checking on Gazaldo, who has a big lead at second. The pitch inside to even up the count. And Dalton Harper started down 0-2. He's battling here.
Yeah, we've seen McGeorge, too, lose his head a couple times here on some of these pitches. I think those heads come in a little bit of a smaller size.
Maybe, but the Doubledays have had some merchandise issues. They've had some missing road jerseys, so they've had to wear different numbers at home and on the road. We'll be up to date on that tomorrow over at Falcon Park, but it's a full count now on Dalton Harper. Americans looking to continue to cut into what was once an 11-run lead by the Doubledays, once a shutout. Harper drives that into left center field, and it will be out number 1, but it was a nice hit ball by Dalton Harper.
Yeah, I made some solid contact there, unfortunately. Just goes right out to the left fielder and get the first out of the 9th here for the Americans.
Yeah, and Shane Praise up next. Came into the game with a .308 batting average. It has unfortunately lowered as he is 0 for 3 on the night. And the Americans with the last chance to come back here as ball 1 goes to Shane Prey, the third baseman. Gazaldo, another big lead at second. And McGeorge checks back, now delivers. Another outside ball. DeCesare attempts to frame that back into the strike zone, but per usual, home plate umpire not falling for the antics by the catcher here.
Yeah, even though it's a ninth inning and the umpire is staying consistent. I like that. Nice
And
hit.
that is a line drive up the middle for the base hit by Shane Prey. It's his first of the night. Coming around to score is Chris Gazaldo. It's 11-4 now. So Prey picking up the RBI.
I'm loving this out of the Americans. They're not going down without a fight. They're showing that they could still put hits and get some runs across the board. As we look, that there might be a bullpen call here for the Doubledays.
Yeah, these Americans are undefeated for a reason, and even if that ends tonight, they're showing some fight, and this is some energy that they're going to be able to bring into tomorrow's game at Falcon Park. Even if they don't win, they'll have the momentum headed into tomorrow with the final runs on the board in this game. As it'll be a call to the bullpen for the Auburn Doubledays. Mac McGeorge done after 2 1/3. And next up into the game for the Doubledays is Ryan Paginellis. A 10.80 ERA on the year, 1 strikeout. His last appearance came just yesterday against the Newark Pilots, where he went 1 2/3. So, I mean, not necessarily ideal for him to throw 2 nights in a row, but seems ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time to be out in the bump here. He only needs 2 outs to finish this game, but I mean, if the Americans score 7 more runs here, you never know. He might have to keep going a little bit.
A lot of inactives here tonight for the Doubledays, players that did not make the trip, so they were short-handed in the bullpen on this road trip. Just about 4 or 5 guys in there. And Derek Gismondi is the next customer of the first for Ryan Paginellis. As the Americans have scored 4 in this bottom of the 9th. It's the first inning that they've outpaced the Doubledays in, 4-3. And Gismondi, 0 for 3 on the night, will come up next with Shane Prey on first and 1 down. Here he is. And Gismondi sat out his freshman year at Mount St. Mary's and now in the transfer portal. If nothing else. Showing lots of patience. And we've got a pinch runner at first base. Connor Kiefer coming in for Shane Prey to pinch run. Kiefer started at second last night. And good base runner, also a solid hitter. His OPS on the year is up to 873 after last night, but it's ball 1 to Gismondi.
Yeah, as you were saying there, Kiefer started at second, but tonight he's starting at first. Maybe he can advance to second. Let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Starting in 2 different ways, of course, but
yes.
2 balls and no strikes here to Derek Gismondi, who certainly capable of walking, and that's a ground ball picked up by Sullivan.
Safe.
And they'll say he's safe at first base. It's runners on first and second. Kiefer took off before the pitch even came, and now the infield hit to make it first and second. Connor Kiefer's pinch running coming up clutch as well, as Jarek Gismondi gets his first hit as a Niagara Falls American.
Yeah, you love to see that, getting their guys, getting their first hit, getting into their rhythms.
And look who it is now. It's Grant Moore with 2 runners on, and he's hungry for a hit, looking to extend his 6-game hit streak.
No better time than now to get that hit, maybe drive some runners in.
Yeah. You would represent run number 7. That's
There
a
it
chopper
is.
over the pitcher.
Yes.
Gets through the 2 middle infielders for the base hit. The hit streak has extended for Grant Moore, and a run coming in. It's 11-5 with runners on the corners. My goodness, the Americans are not dead yet here in this game. They've scored 5 runs, almost halved the score of the Doubledays in this inning alone. And here comes Brady Bowles up next. And it's an RBI single for Grant Moore. So that is RBI number 6 for him, and a now 7-game hit streak as Brady Bowles takes strike 1. You love to see that for Grant Moore. The Americans bats really pushing to get him up to the plate, score a bunch of runs, and that hit streak continues, Avery.
Yeah, I mean, especially, too, he's got that leadoff position. If you want that guy to keep getting you hits, get guys on base, and if he's got that streak alive, I mean, hopefully he keeps leading off and keeps getting those hits.
Yeah, one's across the board now. Balls, strikes, and outs. Kiefer scored on the single. He was the pinch runner for Shane Prey, and it's Gismondi and Moore on base as it's an inside ball, too, to Brady Bowles. We'll see if Grant Moore attempts to steal, but kind of got to be careful in this desperation time here for the Americans. It'll be interesting to see if he's aggressive or holds off. It's a chopper over the head of Fishbein, but it's foul. Moore was headed for second, but he'll have to go back on strike 2. The foul ball by Bowles.
Yeah, like you said, Andrew, you want to see Moore maybe take second here, but you don't want to be the guy to get the second out here. But you also want to stay out of the double play, so it's a tough spot that Moore's in. But maybe we'll see what he does. Maybe he does take second. Who knows?
Halfway through the season, his coach over at Mount Vernon Nazarene University told him to be more aggressive, and he ended up with 24 stolen bases on the season. But it's an out at second, and now an out at first. The double play will end the game, but the Americans put up a fight late. Final score, Doubledays 11, Americans 5. But that'll be it nonetheless. And the Americans certainly gain some momentum here in this bottom of the 9th. They'll have another chance at the Doubledays tomorrow over at Falcon Park. First pitch at 6:30. And we'll have all the coverage right here on the Americans Baseball Network. And Avery Vogt will be back in the booth here on Saturday for the next Americans home game as they host the Niagara Ironbacks for the second time this season, 3rd total, but one of those games was over at George Taylor Field in Canada. That'll do it for today, and thank you so much for coming on the broadcast again tonight, Avery.
Yeah, no problem, Andrew. I love being here. I love these Americans. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the win tonight, but, you know, they can always bounce back. You never know with these Americans.
Yeah, and the Americans certainly put up a fight in this 9th inning. They fall to 6-1, unfortunately, but they'll have a chance to go up to 7-1 tomorrow. Another shot at Auburn tomorrow. That is going to do it here today on the broadcast. Final score, Doubledays 11, Americans 5. Thank you so much.